Struggles of going to college as an immigrant student. What are some of these struggles? Well, there are struggles related to economics, language, our support system, and our mental health as well. Now let's talk about the economic struggle. Most students' main concern when going to college is the economic aspect. Some students may be able to pay for their education. Nonetheless, due to the ridiculous high price of education in the United States, students often have to recur to financial aid. Financial aid. Financial aid has become the main way in which students pay for their major education. However, depending on the student's legal residency status, students might have a limited amount of opportunities to receive financial aid. Besides, the process to obtain financial aid tends to be tedious and something that most students do not look forward to starting. However, it is usually more complicated for immigrant students, especially if those students are undocumented. And although we may understand the importance of those extra processes, that does not make the work less tedious. Now, let's move on to language. Although there are several immigrant students who can speak and understand English without problems, that may not always be the case. Not being able to speak English in a predominantly English-speaking country can be not just frustrating but also limiting in many different ways. For example, immigrant students who come to the United States without knowing how to speak, write, or understand English may not be able to register to some classes until a certain level of English is reached, not be able to participate on certain clubs or programs, feel ashamed of their accent and as a result prevent themselves from speaking in public, or even be victims of bullying. Now let's talk about our support system. Our support system plays an important role in our life, especially when we are trying to pursue higher education. There are several reasons for this. Having someone we can trust and feel comfortable around can make the experience of college less intimidating. Some people in our support system, such as our parents, can not only support us emotionally but also economically. Sometimes our support system can guide us through the steps to apply to college, apply for financial aid, and other processes involving college since they may already have some experience on the topic. However, this is not always the case, especially for students of immigrant families. Many immigrant students come to the United States seeking to start a new life, and on the process they often have to leave behind their main support system. And due to the language differences, finding a new support system may be a challenge, and this challenge only gets more complicated when there are also economic differences. Now let's move on to the mental health aspect. On one hand, for many students, college means starting over a new exciting life. On the other hand, college can be stressful, overwhelming, and exhausting. College can be draining both physically and mentally. This is especially true for immigrant students who don't have a strong support system and are constantly worrying about money. Many immigrant students feel the need to work long hours to have enough money not just for their day-to-day life, but also to pay for their education and support their families economically. This can cause students to neglect their health and overwork themselves to the point where students might get burnout. What is more, when those students are also undocumented, their residency status is also something that often occupies their mind and is a cause of stress. Because of this, students may constantly worry about being deported, since it could result in separation from their loved ones and cause them to lose everything they have worked so hard to achieve in this country. This constant stress can lead to several mental health problems, including depression and anxiety. On top of all that, many immigrant students also have the constant pressure of trying to achieve going to college, getting good grades, and study something that at the end will get them a high-paying job, so that they can be one day called successful people in order to make their family proud. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to make your family proud. However, the problem comes when those students might be sacrificing everything, including their happiness, to study something that may not even be what they want to, get a job that they may hate, and achieve a dream that may not even be theirs, but their parents'. Sometimes all of that is done with the hope of getting an "I'm proud of you" from their parents. Thank you.